Big cap, Don Marino, heavy sombrero. He lack knowledge, I bet he a scarecrow. Something deadly a Edo. If it ring, get low, rider, and he go
But we was never friends. Show up to Harlem looking for your crib. You better let me in. Masked up, gloves on. I work in medicine. Show up to deluxe apartment in disguise like the Jeffersons.
Not to get shot with the cannon. I gotta do you, send a shot into you. This is Black Love, Brown Pride. Shaka Zulu meets Montezuma. And will you be?
Hello. Welcome back to Speaker on Language Show. And for today's episode, we have a special guest, Mr. Jerry Wess. Oh, that rhymed. I should battle you. No, I'm joking. What's going on? How you feeling?
I'm good, King. What's the word?
Nothing much, man. I had the privilege of meeting you at the Summer Madness 13 face-offs. I asked you a couple questions. And then I had the privilege of seeing you on stage for Summer Madness 13. And then I had the privilege of talking to you after the battle. I just want to say it was electrifying to see you, battle, have one of the best performances, if not the best performance of the night. I'm going to just throw it out there. The best performance of the night on Summer Madness in front of a bunch of legends, in front of a bunch of people on your biggest stage ever, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Typically how I do these interviews, I start off by asking the battler, what are some of their favorite battlers or favorite rappers that kind of influence their style? So can you give me a little bit of insight of who influenced you to battle rap and some of your favorite rappers that kind of influence your style?
Definitely like Clips, Sean, Nitty, and like coming up just off of certain rappers where just for me, Taylor specifically to me, like Chilla with the schemes, Conceited, of course, Surf, just those particular styles definitely was one of the biggest motivations for me to say, you know what, I want to do this, because I was already like rapping, but as far as wanting to get into it, they made it to where it's like, nah, this is exciting, this is a different level of rap, I gotta do this, and this is the way to do it.
Now, what about your favorite just rappers in general that kind of like influenced it the way you rap a little bit?
You mean like industry?
Yeah.
Oh, Fabulous, Kiss, Cash, even old school rappers like Big Daddy Kane, because he was like ahead of his time, you know what I'm saying? Just different. I ain't gonna lie, one of the movies that actually made me want to get into battle rap was House Party. Like the scene when they was battling on the joint. It did something different. It was just something different. So to see it happen like on that scale it's like everything was just aligned anyway. So but yeah, like Fab, Kiss, Cass, Lloyd Banks, definitely. Like those are like the key people right there.
Well, another thing I want to touch on, right, is Brooklyn's finest that I'm speaking to, I wanted to ask you particularly about this. We Go Hard. Yeah. One of the most important, one of the most vital pieces of battle rap history in terms of like one of the biggest movements in battle rap history in terms of like that somewhat of an independent small league circuit. I kind of wanted to ask you, why is the We Go Hard movement such an important movement for battle rap?
We Go Hard is the Rucker of battle rap. The Rucker Park of battle rap. It's the jungle. It's one of those leagues, man, and we have a lot of other leagues too in Brooklyn. We got Trap Power. You know what I'm saying? We got a bunch of leagues, but like We Go Hard is just definitely one of the leagues that really authenticates that feel as far as just environment, period. You know what I'm saying? It's not as Hollywood as a lot of leagues. Like everything that we do is still in the streets. Like we still in the streets with everything that we're doing. And that feeling is like, it's just always like, raw, real. Anything can happen at any time type situation. Right. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got security over. You know what I'm saying? We do what we do. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's just the passion over there. You know what I'm saying? Like We Go Hard is not a league where we want to strive to be like other people or we're trying to get other places. We love our home league so much that when we have our events, it's us. Like it's We Go Hard. Like even when I battle in We Go Hard. Yeah. I feel like, to me, honestly, those are my toughest battles. When I go back home and battle in the jungle, I feel more of the pressure. You know what I'm saying? Because in the URL, I feel like now, you know, I have a brand, I'm being built, so I'm already perceived in a certain way. When you go to We Go Hard, they don't care about none of that. They don't care about any of that. That's more reason for them to want to like show me you not Hollywood. Show me you not only doing that for them. So We Go Hard is just the jungle. It's the jungle, and we are the Rucker Parker battle rap.
And one of the things I think of, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was the Ishmullah battle. You was going crazy in your first round, and then I think something happened where you guys had to shift into a park or whatever because something happened in the venue or whatever. Can you talk a little bit about that? What happened?
Something broke out in the back. You know, it was just a lot of energy, a lot of things going on, and people in the background was like going back and forth. And the owner was actually, he just didn't want to take any risks or anything, so he got a little nervous. And then we got a few battles in, and you know, a lot of battle it take long, you know. You know, so at that time was up, and then he was like, you know, everybody just got to go anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whatever. I don't want nothing to happen. People getting drunk, high. It could get worse. Let's shut it down. But we got it done the next day. So
that must have been crazy. Like going off, like clicking on all, because your first round was crazy.
So serves you. You talk all aggressive. He talk all aggressive, and he sound good when he make threats. Till I shoot the metal. Throat shot. Switch gonna sound different, like chain nets.
Clicking on all cylinders in the first round, and then having to transfer that energy, because energy is weird. Like it's sometimes hard to recapture certain things. So like you having to go the next day, and it's a whole different feel in the park. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a way different feel. So like it was just dope to see that you was able to still put on a good performance even with the venue change in the middle of you like clicking all cylinders. So that was one thing I wanted to highlight.
That was one of my most dangerous battles. Like I was like, it's just unbelievable, you know what I'm saying? So even going into that battle like that, and even when I took that battle, you know, it was more of a I'm already on URL, I'm already getting established, so it's like, you know, people like, oh, he's not gonna come back, what other people come back? I'm like, this will be hard, like, you know what I'm saying? This is like, I gotta come back home. And then for me to battle Ish on We Go Hard, that felt like that was major for me. You know what I'm saying? That was like a big thing. That was like, yes, hell yeah, I'm doing that. Like I want that's one of the toughest battles. So it was a great feeling. One of my toughest battles to date.
So with that being said, what are some of your favorite We Go Hard moments? Like I said, I know the Ishmullah situation. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, you battled Ryder on We Go Hard, and that was when I want to say that was around the time Ryder was really garnering traction. I don't know if that was
Ryder was gained. I battled Ryder when he was coming out, and I think Noane was promoting him and everything. Like Ryder was just the most dangerous nigga at that time too. Like everybody like, who's Ryder? Like
What was that after or before his Snake Eyes battle? I want to say that was after.
That was before.
Gotcha.
That's before.
Okay.
That's before.
Yeah. So what are some of your favorite We Go Hard moments?
Battling Gwitty, of course, with the Richard Nixon line, and I'm gonna quote something. That's when that's actually the battle that got me on URL. Because Jazz was there, shout out to Jazz. And everybody just like went crazy for that line. I was already like doing my thing, and that was another tough battle. You know what I'm saying? Gwitty, you know, Gwitty don't duck no smoke. You know what I'm saying? Gwitty was already at a high level. So Gwitty was like, oh, I see this dude coming up. He trying to get in the game. You got to go through the gate. You got to go through me and see what's up. So I'm like, yo, this is going to be another tough one. It motivated me to push my pen to another level and put me in a position to where now I can actually get on the stage that I always dreamed about. Even when I was on We Go Hard, I always like, yo, if I ever get in URL, that'd be dope. But I never thought it would happen. Right. So I'm just doing what I got to do there. Jazz just happened to be there, you know, pushed it out the North. The North made the call, and boom, it kept going from there.
Okay. So this is a very interesting question that I have, right? Your PG versus EK, your battle versus Bangs on Born Legacy 2, and your one-off against Teewhy. Which battle was the most important for you? Because I'm gonna tell you from my perspective, right? your PG versus EK, obviously that's like your first like shot at like showing the URL platform what you got to offer. So I know that's a big thing, and that was a really good battle. EK also had something to prove too. He was doing a lot of independent circuit stuff as well. But the Bangs one, right? That's when you had the crowd surf. It was like when they were trying to reinvigorate the small rooms. It was in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? So not only are you on the URL platform, but it's also in your backyard or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have a really good performance in that battle, right? But Teewhy, right, was where you had that infamous moment of ain't no sugar in this, and a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, remembered you for that.
Yeah, so I felt like the Teewhy battle was actually the most important one, because at the time I was going through a phase where people was talking about my style being too simplistic, or it's creative, but it's not intricate. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of cookie cutter. So I decided to kind of listen, because I'm a type of person where I understand that, you know, of course you got to separate yourself from people, but you also got to listen to the fans, because these people to come out and see you. So I felt like the more people were saying it, the more it had to be something to it. So I went back and watched my battles and kind of went back and just kind of retweaked my writing style. I said, you know what? I need to be a little more intricate. And that's when it started to play into the mixture of my favorite battles. So I decided to mix all of those styles, like mix their approaches and how they would do it. And Teewhy was the person that I tried it on. I said, you know what? I'm going to try this new style. I'm going to start structuring my rhymes, attacking more so my opponent, work on my name flips being less predictable, and you know, just reinventing my style. And when I battled Teewhy, it was almost like to them like, oh, he has a pen. He actually can rap, because to them it was just more so like performance, being creative, and but now they like, oh, he can actually rap, and that kind of like gave me a brand new version of myself. So that's why I feel like that battle is kind of like the most important, because it made them see me as a contender now. Like, okay, he ain't just coming out here one hit wonder, whatever, boom, we just move on. And like, no, he actually can come in and rock with some heavy hitters. So that was important to me.
And I think again, that battle enabled you to have a lot more plays going into 2018, right? You took on Jack Boy on the DMV card. Then they gave you X Factor, the return when he returned for Born Legacy Supreme 2. Then you had Mr. Wavy, which I want to ask this question. How weird was it battling Mr. Wavy? I don't know how close you guys were. I know you guys are both from Brooklyn or whatever. I remember you guys actually, this is how much I remember stuff. I remember you guys having like this little vignette of you guys doing the 2-on-2 together or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It never happened, which I was looking, y'all was fire in that vignette. I ain't gonna lie. Like I was looking
Couldn't
forward
find
to
nobody to close it out.
Yeah. But I want to ask you, how weird was it kind of battling him at the time? You know what I'm saying? Because I know that was around the time that he was on his Briz campaign, right? He was also trying to matriculate through the system or whatever. So how did that battle come about, and how did you feel in the midst of having the battle?
P put that battle together. This was during the strike, and it was more so like, because you know, Wavy, shout out to Wavy, that's my guy. Like, $100,000. Like, this man like definitely done like gave me jewels to the game, and like it's a lot of stuff that I actually learned from him that kind of pushed me further too. As far as like the stuff he picked up, that he was like, yo, as you going in there, make sure you do XYZ. It was no different than playing ball with your brother. You know what I'm saying? We going at it. We playing ball. Like, nah, I'm about to, like, you know what's up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get it in. But no, it didn't feel weird. It just more felt like we knew what we had to do. It was a lot of comparisons. There was a lot of other things going on, and we was like, you know, we're going to show them the difference. We're going to go at it. We're going to leave it all out there on the floor, and then we're going to move on. And we try to get the 2-on-2 still after that, but it just never happened.
The next question I have, because we kind of touched on, 2018, how like, okay, that's when you started to get placed consistently, but you were still relatively selective. I would say like you were still like 2-3 battles a year on the URL platform. 2019 though, in my opinion, before now, that was one of your more special years. I feel like every time you touched the URLs, it just touched anything in general. That was the Ishmula year. You also had Nakmel on Band Legacy. Then you had the chess battle, which was a huge deal. And then you had Glue Easy to close out the year, which is something we're going to touch on a little bit. For you, what was so special about that year?
For me, that year, that was my my reintroduction year. For me, it felt like it was a reintroduction year. It was more of a fresh start year. because I felt like now that I kind of got the hang of how to rap now it's like, now let me show that I want to separate myself from everybody, because at that point I was like, you know what? I'm trying to jump tiers. It's time to jump tiers now. So I wanted to make sure that now whoever they put in front of me, it wasn't a situation of who, it was more of what I'm going to do in the battle. I had to get that mindset that it's not who you battle, it's what you do in the battle. And P actually taught me that. He was like, it's the moments that you create, because 9 times out of 10, no matter who you battle, if you're not saying anything nobody cares about, nobody's going to care anyway. You have to create the moments. You have to create them situations. People want to get to know you, want to hear what you got to say. Because that's really what battle rap nowadays is not really about winning or losing. It's about giving people that feeling. You know what I'm saying? When you're going back and forth, I mean, Mike Peavers said it the best. It's like diss tracks. You know what I'm saying? If them joints is popping, it's worth replaying. So it's just basically giving people, you know, shit that they want to hear. Not taking away from competition because you want to win, but that year was just about me showing that it's levels. I'm trying to tier jump. And I mean, like, I wasn't picky or who it was. It was just like, I was just taking whoever. Because I've never even asked for, even in up to 2019, I think I haven't even asked for anybody. It was just whoever they gave me, I just did it. I never really asked for anybody.
I can kind of see what you're saying in terms of like, because, okay, you could win a battle but not have an entertaining performance, right? So you're more or less, obviously you're trying to win the battle, that comes with the nature of battle rap, but you're also just trying to make sure that like the crowd was left entertained. So I can get what you're saying in that regard too, because at the end of the day, there's countless battlers that win, you know what I'm saying, and don't move up the ladder just because they just didn't push the envelope like that. So I get what you mean by that.
Right.
Now in 2019, like I mentioned before, you did really good against Ishmullah, did really good against Mac Mel, right? Both of them, like Ishmullah, obviously smaller league, we go hard, that's like your homecoming. Mac Mel, band legacy too, so that can get kind of lost in the mix, even though that was a good performance as well. I felt like the last two to close out the year was extremely impactful. You and Chess had Battle of the Night on that Born Legacy card, which was crazy. One of the best battles, and then on top of that, you was facing a Chess that was on his A game all year, right?
Oh my God!
He was coming off the Gichigati battle. You know what I'm saying? He had the 2-on-2 coming up, so he was in his bag or whatever. So for you to have one of those type of battles, type of performances to kind of match him in that battle just meant a lot. But for me, the thing that like really pushed you into that jump that you were talking about, that Gluezy performance.
Yeah.
And I feel like, for one, a lot of people have won at Smack before, but but yeah. I don't know if, you know what I'm saying, they did it in the way that you did. And on top of that, in that moment, I don't think people remember, because 2019 was the first year the app came out. In that particular moment in time, I think your first round had the most reactions out of, I want to say top 5 most reactions out of any round on the app at the time.
Yeah.
What was it like getting that reception from the Gluezy performance? And did you know the impact it would have going into the next year?
No, honestly, I was really upset with where I was at my career. Like you said, I didn't have a lot of battles, so I felt like, you know what I'm saying, like P had to get me that battle. I wasn't getting calls from nobody, so he threw me that battle. And when I was in my writing process, I was like, you know what? I don't even care to win or lose. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna say how I feel, and however they feel, if I'm not back or whatever. I was just in a point where I was kind of fed up and I wanted more, and I felt like I wasn't getting it. So I just went with it. I just went on a whim and I'm gonna just write this, and whatever happens, happens. I didn't think it was gonna even turn out that way, like at all. I didn't even expect to win the battle. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't expect anything. I said, you know what? I'm going, because I felt like what I did at my first, people would have been upset, but at least I would have got how I felt off. And I was like, I'm still going to finish the job. I still signed the contract, so I'm going to write 2 more rounds. But it wound up being, you know, and then me personally, no matter what it is, how I feel like I can never cheat the people. So what I made sure that I did was, I'm going to put something theatrical in every round. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put a sound effect or some type of performance. I'm going to give them something as well. I'm not going to just come in here and be completely selfish. So I did not expect it to go like that, and it wound up being the total opposite of what I expected, and probably being one of my best battles, top 5.
We'll get to that later too.
Might be top 3.
No, it's a very important battle, and I think it did a lot for your career. I think, because it's crazy, right? Because I think there's multiple battles where you could say it was a reintroduction. Like you felt like there was a couple of times where you had to get reintroduced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I could kind of see it. But a question I have, because I should have asked this early on, because this is like your hallmark, right? Where did the props come from? Like I have to ask, because I'm just like, you've props at one point in time, right? If not executed properly, was considered just like a lame gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to really, really execute it well for it to go over well with the audience. Where did you get it from? And then where did you know that like this was something that you could really, really implement into your style on a battle to battle basis?
Well, the first time I did it was versus Tech 9.
Yes,
so
I remember that. Yeah.
I told myself so for example, my first battle on URL was Emerson Kennedy.
Yes.
So I was always thinking, if I'm coming in and I'm battling, right, and I'm a PG, I'm a new guy, there's tons of other people doing the same thing. I gotta separate myself. So I was always trying to figure out ways to separate myself. So for example, when I battled Emerson Kennedy, the thought I had was, let me try to beat him before I get in the building. Mm-hmm. So, I pulled up in a Bentley. So in my mind, right, I was on demon time back then like crazy. But when I pulled in my mind, I'm like, ain't nobody I haven't really seen nobody, like no battle rappers like pulling up like this or whatever, or you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, let me separate myself from them, so get the eyes on me early. When the Tech 9 battle happened, I always said to myself, it'll be dope to kind of implement some more visual things in the battle. You know what I'm saying? Give them something to look at, make it entertaining, like give them, like let the people like be involved. So I brought the body bag. You know what I'm saying? And I thought it was a fire play on his slogan, the body bag slogan. What if I just bring yours? You know what I'm saying? You've been doing body bag so long, it's time somebody gave you yours. And I always said to myself, after I did that, I'm not gonna like run it dry, right? I'm always gonna try to do it when I feel like it's important, or try to make sure it's worth it. And I was always fine with taking risks, because I would always tell myself, I can go one or two ways, and go very good or very bad. So timing was always like the biggest thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the biggest thing for me. And I think Tech 9, that battle, once it kind of went that way, I decided that that's just gonna be a part of my, because I was reinventing myself again. Yeah. So even though I changed my pen versus Teewhy, which was the next battle, I didn't want to forget that. But I didn't do it versus Teewhy because I wanted to introduce them to my pen. So then I was like, you know what? When I battle my next battle, which was X Factor, I said, I'm gonna bring that back out, but I'm gonna mix it now. Now I'm gonna do that with the pen and see how, and every time I get good reception, I'm like, I'm gonna keep this going. I'm gonna keep doing this shit. I ain't gonna run it dry, but I'm gonna keep doing it. So that's how I implemented it into my style.
Last question before I shift into like more of your recent work. The 2015 class that you were a part of, right? If I'm not mistaken, because classes can be like all over the place, because there's no real organization sometimes. But if I'm not mistaken, when I think of 2015 class, I think of you, I think of Af, I think of Mike P. I want to say Ryder, Snake Eyes too. If I'm not mistaken, you haven't really like encountered like any of your classmates for real. Like you and Av are like in a group, you know what I'm saying? You and Mike P haven't really battled like that, you know what I'm saying? At least the people that are like really, really prominent in the class. Is there a reason for that, or is like
who else? I think I battled Tech. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Rum in my class?
Rum, no.
To me, technically, I feel like Rum has been in before us, because King of the Dot and stuff like that. So I don't never really count that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Even if you want to, because like what? Rum's first, because Rum had Steams, he had Chess or whatever, but like he didn't really.
That's true.
But it's tough because like, I guess if you want to consider him, but like
Rum is so humble for that, because it's like, you know what I'm saying, for him to sit there and just do, because he's a natural competitor. He don't care, but the mindset of that, it's like it's ridiculous. But you're right. None was in my class.
Yes, None as well too. Because I think all of them, because of what? None and Av battle. Av battled Mike P. You know what I'm saying? Mike P and Snake Eyes ended up battling down the line. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then but like in terms of you, I mean, you battled Ryder, but that was like early on and We Go Hard or whatever. Right. So like, was there a reason for that, or like, because the reason why I asked you is because I know there's been a lot of talk about class warfare. You know what I'm saying? How is it supposed to go? Are they supposed to battle the vets first, build themselves up, and then battle each other? Or are they supposed to battle each other first and then battle the vets. So I was just asking you because I just haven't really battled like any of your classmates for real.
I think that was actually even part of the times when I kind of just wasn't getting played, so things was just kind of like mixy, you know what I'm saying? And they kind of didn't know what to do with me. So when it came to certain things, I was never the first like option or pick. So when they were doing that, to me, it was just, it's a whatever kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just whatever. Like my resume is so like all over the place. I have a toxic resume. Like my resume is just like, you know, like a lot of the battles kind of didn't even make sense. Like they were battles like you had to actually see them and be like, oh, okay, this is dope. Or you know, if you liked it, if you didn't like, but you had to see it first to make your, you know, because a lot of my battles didn't really have any backstories. I think one only battle I really had that had a backstory is probably DNA. I can't really think of no other battle I had that had a backstory.
Not for real. Yeah.
And that's probably why I didn't. Because I was always the guy that they could rely on, that if they did call, that I would go, all right, fuck it, I'll do it.
Right.
I was always that guy. So.
Yeah. No, I was just curious because I was just looking, I'm looking through all the, because like you and EK were on, I think you and EK was on the same card as Av and Mike P. And, you know, it was just interesting that like you never really encountered them. And I really wanted you to go against Av at one point in time, but y'all EFB now. I mean, granted,
before EFB, me and Av was supposed to do a 2-on-2, and we campaigned for that even before me and Wavy, and nobody wanted to smoke. We were trying to do that since 2014.
Dang.
2014, nobody wanted it.
I'm about to say, even though EFB counterparts have, most of y'all already battled already, and most of you guys like are willing to battle if there was a tournament or whatever, yada yada yada. But I don't know, man. I always I thought you and Av would have been a good matchup because like Av's more punch heavy, and you've become a little bit more punch heavy with the little skimming in there too. That was just a matchup. I just had to throw that out there.
That'd be dangerous. Like I always been like, Av is like, whoa, like shit. I battled Nitty twice, so that was already scary. So It's like, yeah, so Av is just dangerous. Like I feel like battling Av is dangerous, battling Fonz is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people you be like, I gotta be ready for this. Yeah, I gotta be ready.
One other question I have before we get into our last couple of segments or whatever. I got like 2 or 3 more. What was it like ramping up your production in 2020, right? Because like after the Gluezy battle, right, Smack, you know what I'm saying, was like, okay, fine, we're gonna put you through the fire. Yeah. You get put on the first ever Genesis card in February, but in the month of January prior to that, they gave you John Nadon on the second app event or whatever.
Right.
Boom, coming out of that, Corona happens and all that, but you still end up getting Suge. You still end up getting B Magic. You battle Chilla, you know what I'm saying? Then you get Danny on the Halloween card, and then you close out the year with Arsenal. I'm pretty sure I got the timeline right.
Yep.
But what was it like, damn near doubling your production, and also all of them being heavy hitters? So what was that like? What was that transition like?
That was like, it's like when you got a promotion, but you got to get to work like instantly, and they give you all the assignments, all everything, and the hardest tasks, and closing out the biggest, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it was crazy. It did make me feel more valuable. You know what I'm saying? It made me feel like, okay, this is what it's going to take. And that experience, that whole year alone, also gave me more confidence in who I am and in my position and what I wanted to do in battle rap. Because the only issue of flaw that I had really was promotion. Because there was a point in time in my career where I had the best trailers in the game. Like I had a trailer I did for X Factor. Yeah. I did one for Jackpot, but I was doing it myself. Shout out to cameraman Just Frank, my cameraman. We was doing the shit ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have URL come and shoot and or even ask. We just did them. But when I was doing those trailers and putting those out there, the things that I wanted, because the crazy part is I never really asked for battlers. I asked for stages. I always asked. I needed a Noane. Let me get a summer map. Never got them. So as the years went by, I said, if I'm doing all this work and not getting nothing, then what's the point? Right. I might as well just only battle when y'all hit me up. Yeah. So a lot of people never understood why, you know, I never went so far with certain promotions. So after that, you know, my work just was speaking up for me. My work was what put me in certain positions. You know what I'm saying? And then after a while, they started to realize, you know what? Yeah, He's definitely dope. He's loyal, you know what I'm saying? He's been down with the company for a minute, and he definitely just he deserves what he's been asking for. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it wound up getting to the next levels, and that's when I was they put the twerk battle together, even though they go down. You know, it's just certain things that just started to kind of like unfold. And anything else that didn't happen and jumpstart my career was things that was completely out of my hands.
Right.
I'm saying like the twerk battle, because you know it got postponed.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a battle in the bio.
That would have been a big jump in my career. You know what I'm saying? Just having twerk on your resume is insane. You know what I'm saying? So, but luckily I got the DNA battle on that stage in order to catapult me in a certain direction. So,
Yeah, and the reason why I asked about that year in particular is like I felt like that was when you were getting all the shots, right? And I feel like there's at least one or two people that are like on the cusp of being top tier that the brand pushes and like throws them a gauntlet of battles to see if they're going to sink or swim. And I feel like they do that to at least one or two battlers a year. And I felt like 2019, they did that with Saga, they did that with Franchise. For 2020, I felt like they did that with you. I felt like they gave you a bunch of top tiers to see, you know, could you handle it? And I feel like for the most part, you showed you could be competitive, but the general perception was that like you wasn't really winning them by a large margin. I feel like your biggest win was Danny Myers, which was a very impressive win.
Definitely was.
Versus Tay-Rock, undercard. Myers comes out with a crazy first. I had you sweeping all 3 rounds against a Danny Myers. So we had to stumble in the second, but it doesn't take away from the fact that like those other 2 rounds where he was rapping, you rapped better than he did in a small room. But the question I have, right, because I feel like when I combined 2020 and 2021, that was when you were getting the plates. But I think what I at least saw was that you were performing good, but the output of wins just wasn't measuring up. You know, I feel like in general perception, I felt like you were doing good, but you wasn't separating yourself from the pack of all the other people that are either on the verge of being top tier or the top tier opponents that you were getting. That kind of leads into when you end up getting hurt. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what was the timeline after you got injured. I remember meeting you actually outside of the building for Nome 11. And little did I know that would be like one of the last battles you would have before, you know what I'm saying, the injury would happen and then you would take some time off. What I'm pretty much leading into is that, boom, you have the time off, then you have the Lou Castro battle. In my opinion, the Lou Castro battle was a very important battle. The same way that I said that, like, you know, they took 2020 to push you, they were taking that year of 2021 and 2022 to push Lou Castro. What did that Lou Castro performance do for your career, in your opinion?
For me, it just put me right back where I was. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, just even getting on the Nome, even though it wasn't known, but just kind of like being close enough to it was more of a situation where like that battle was like the Loso battle was cool. It was cool. You know what I'm saying? So, but it was a point where it's like, where do we go from here? You know what I'm saying? Do we go up or down? So when I came back to battle Lou on that card, it put me right back in my spot. Like the spot that was at, I didn't lose it. Like it was still there for me. So it put me right back in that spot. And now it's like, all right, now let's see where we're going. And then that got me if I'm not mistaken, I battled
the battle. You were supposed to have Twerk after Lou Castro, but that didn't go down. And then you had Kid Chaos at the end of the year, which was a surprise
on Volume.
Yeah,
which was a big card.
Yeah. And then after that, that's when you come into 2023 clicking all cylinders. I just remember 2020 and 2022, you were an underdog in that battle against Lou Castro, but it wasn't necessarily because you didn't have the skill set. I just think people forgot. I just think people like really thought about like Lou Castro's like ascension that year or those past 2 years. 2021 is when like he really made a name for himself. 2022 had to battle with Clips or whatever, major stage, major event. And I think that he was just overwhelming favorite because it felt like he was ascending or breaking that precipice of being top tier. I just remember thinking like that was a huge battle for you because that is the type of battle where like they try to push the other person and you're supposed to be the guy that's supposed to just sit down or whatever, and you fought through it. And I just have to commend you for that because there's not a lot of people. Two things: there's not a lot of people that take the time that you take off come back and beat the guy that they're pushing. And there's also not a lot of people that get that gauntlet of top tier opponents and find a way to still get opportunities after that. Because again, this is where you get DNA on Summer Madness 13th, which I want to record saying that like that was your last shot to me. I felt like, you already had your top tiers, you already had like, what I'm saying, some of those opportunities. You either had to have a good battle with DNA or clearly beat him, and you did the latter. So I just have to commend you for that. Also, what did that performance do for your career, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, that definitely finally put me at the table. I've been trying to get the table this whole time, and finally it put me in top tier. You know what I'm saying? Because I was mid tier for a while, and like respectfully, respectfully top tier. And Teewhy, first Mook and Lux coming up to me, dope, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate the performance, salute to them, but it's just more so, Suge, hit me up too, welcome to top 10, you know what I'm saying? You worked hard for this, and now this is like, you're in your prime now. Now you're at that level. Now it's time to go and build your brand the right way. Now you're not a battle rapper no more. Now you are a brand. And now whatever you do now reflects on everything else, your growth, your pay, your, just in taking your talents other places, you know what I'm saying? Just seeing what you could do. It opens up so many other doors that I wasn't able to even get close enough to touch now. Now I can actually walk through those doors now. And me and Tay-Rock is a battle that's it's locked. We just gotta figure out where we gonna put it, what we gonna do with that. But we're trying to get that situated. But Twerk, Clips still want to battle. It's a couple battles that's like, I've earned to where it's like, oh, they have to go down. You know what I'm saying? These battles have to go down now. Now it's not like we're testing them, we're trying to see it, we're trying to give them a shot. Now I'm here, and now it's like we whatever now. Whatever is happening, that's what we're here for.
Okay, so we're gonna take a small break, a small intermission to kind of highlight some of your best moments of your career. Then we're gonna come back and do the Rappers Pentagon segment.
I'll swing that 22 over your head like Richard Nixon, and I aim it at his face.
That shit was fire.
I aim it at his face. I'm trying to smoke something. Squeeze that 22. I'm trying to quote something. Tank. He already knew his foul. When he heard the tech, he tried to fight for his team. Like he ain't nervous shit. I don't give him a fight, but he ain't worth the sweat. So I came out with 2 different arms like a birth defect. I mean, dip on a nigga. Iroquois, Apache could get. Bullets ripping his center, dumping at his Cherokee. My tribe sending a nigga licking shots. If he want more, he can. I'm an Indian giver. Then the screen go black. What kind of challenge is he? What kind of challenge is he? Whatever problem I got answer. New tech, kept it a secret for years. I'm Black Panther, your dog finna. One thing, that sound. Then his sister screaming. In the background, nigga. Vision blurry. You still wanna fight, son? That's tight dumb. Nigga, you wanna see 3 of me, and you better hit the right one. It was a hot route. Now he's back at the hospital on the first floor. Heart monitor going crazy. When the nurse go, your mama cries. A flag gonna feel it worse though. Cause when that line go flat foots, it's gonna hurt so. Not burst.
All right, now we're about to get into our second to last segment. It's called the Rappers Pentagon. So pretty much this is centered around top 5 questions or questions oriented by like 5 or whatever. What are some of your 5 favorite performances of your career? I know you alluded to a couple of them, but I want to know the other 3.
Teewhy, Glue Easy, DNA, Ishmula, and I want to say Danny Myers.
Yeah, you pretty much named the ones that I think of off rip. Really enjoyed your Danny Myers performance. Again, I think it just caught me off guard by just how like polished and you know what I'm saying you were in that battle. You know what I'm saying. And yeah, of course, the Ishmael performance. I would throw the chess one in there. I would throw the Gluezy one in there too. The DNA one, I had the privilege of watching that live. But my personal favorite is the Danny one because I feel like you met him upstairs with the material. Some of my favorite material from yours. I will also throw Foots in there. I know that's pretty like early.
Oh, how did I forget about
but
that?
I know that's pretty. I know that's pretty early.
God.
But your Foots performance, that second round particularly, was impeccable. So I have to give that a nod for sure.
Oh, God, I forgot about Salute the Foots, man. That was a dog fight.
Yeah.
I forgot I did. Oh man, I gotta watch that again.
My next question. And I like asking these questions. I like hearing the battler's perspective. 5 of the toughest rounds you stood in front of.
I want to say Chilla's. I don't know if it was his second or his third.
What this Jerry Wess, that Jerry Wess? That's the third. If you talk about that one,
I think it might be that. That was crazy. I like how he did that. That was crazy. Chess second round. Chess when he had the whole setup. You gonna stand there quiet while I'm talking to that main bit, like you decide how he's spitting the jack boy. That diversion was insane. Let's see. Top 5 rounds I stood in front of. Rum Nitty's first round was ridiculous. His first round was ridiculous. His first was cool. That was the flawless victory joint. That one was ridiculous. Ish's first round, ridiculous. Ish first round was ridiculous. How many is that? That's 4?
I think that's 4. You need one more.
And one more. This one is not probably the craziest, but it's one of the craziest flips of my spit out T shit. X Factor
second round. I knew you were gonna say that.
When X Factor hit me with the
finally caught the mouse.
Jerry, like Tom finally caught the mouse was insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah.
Those are all good ones. Good ones. 5 times, right? And I'm gonna ask you this, and you can be as because I call it being a battle rapper. Battle rappers don't admit, you know what I'm saying, when someone got the best of them or whatever. But I do it anyway just to see what they're gonna say.
Right.
5 times you felt like you lost the battle.
The second time I faced Rum.
Okay.
You want to count that? Because I feel like Rum is just hard to. It's Rum. You know what I'm saying? Like I just be happy to just be able to dance with the nigga. Like to be able to win is kind of tough. But other than that, I don't know. I don't feel like I really like lost.
I knew you was gonna do that because a lot of battlers. I feel you though, because a lot of times like how you feel and what the general perception doesn't always match or whatever. But like,
because this how I look at it. This is personally how I call battle, and it's opinions. You could take, for example, the John battle, right? That battle was a classic in my opinion. So people may feel like I won, I feel like I lost. I feel like I got that battle 2-1. But if people say John got 2-1,
it's a close, good battle.
I'm not mad at it. Me and Geechee, you know what I'm saying? Geechee started off strong in that battle. I feel like my round, I feel like I edged that round for 2 reasons. One, because I did one of the first this was the COVID FaceTime battle.
Yeah.
I did the brush challenge like live.
Oh yeah,
like I did it in one. Every I felt like I just did something on top of having bought. Like I feel like I just like went crazy. You know what I'm saying? But then again, it's fucking Geechee we talking about. You know what I'm saying? So understandable. But I feel like because I'm not a person that where I don't give no rounds that's to me, I feel like if I completely just like forfeit it or I ain't have like too much energy or if I'm just fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Like there is nobody that I really went against, really. Like I've never been 30. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never been 30. I've never been destroyed. I've never been, you know what I'm saying? So even if people feel like they won, it's always a 2-1 or, you know what I'm saying? It's never been, he got destroyed. So that's why I feel like I'm only arguably undefeated because what plays a major part in me winning or losing is also fan base. Because you got to think about it like this. If I'm battling Arsenal, right? He clearly got more fans. If 1,000 people say I won, it's 10,000 people that's gonna say he won. So you're gonna look at the consensus of all these comments. It's so many more of Arsenal's fans that's gonna be commenting than mine. You know what I'm saying? You got diehard people that don't even fully watch a battle or don't care about it, but they just write it. Or they'll skip your rounds and just say, my man. You know what I'm saying? So I personally go about if both artists was actually doing their thing. Like they wasn't slacking, they wasn't letting up. And I feel like it goes by whoever gave up a round or wasn't having it, and that's how it goes. And to me, if not, then it's a classic. They both did what they did and it was crazy. I just feel like I'm arguing undefeated, but there are battles that I have lost. So yeah.
Okay. Another one. 5 of your favorite name flips that was done to your name. Like what were some name flips you're like, that was creative, or like I never heard them do this before?
Definitely with the Jerry coat the mouth shit. Who had the Jerry Hell? I heard so many of them, but somebody had a crazy Jerry Heller bar that was like ridiculous. I think it was it Rum?
I think Rum had one.
The one with the Jerry a curl up in the what he said, the Wesson, the sound effects, the props.
Yeah.
Like Wesson, you getting popped though. That shit, like that shit was retarded.
I remember Chilla had the stretch West out like Louisiana Purchase. Like that for me, that was kind of crazy. I was like, I never heard of the West Louisiana Purchase flip before. So.
Fire. Trying to think who else had a crazy West bar. I like Teewhy Jerry Springer bar. He flipped it to the Steve Wilkos shit.
Yeah.
Like Jerry needs security or some shit. I forgot how he did it, but it was like the first time I heard he said something the gun something spin off Jerry, like Steve with the ball head spin off Jerry.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. That was crazy. Let me see. I think that's about 3 or 4 right there. Who else had a crazy West flip? I think Lou had a crazy one too. What's Ish with the shit what a banging West Side story is. It ain't a musical. When Ish had that one banging in West Side, that shit was crazy. Wavy had a crazy one. What he did it backwards. What he said something. Banging out West. Something. That's how I name flip. He had one where he did it backwards. But the punch was that's how I name flip. But he literally flipped it with a punch, but it was backwards.
Gotcha.
Like some crazy shit. Yeah.
Okay. And then the last one, and this is just very fitting. 5 of your favorite props that you did. Because I kind of want to know because you got a lot. Because I'm gonna do my I always like to do my personal favorites, right? The one against X Factor was dope. The one against, pick one. The Scorpion one against DNA was crazy. I ain't gonna front. This don't really count, but the You Think You Know Me against Don Marino just recently was kind of, that was fine. I'm a wrestling fan, so I like that one. The You Think You Know Me Until to Let the Bodies Hit the Floor was impeccable. Only real wrestling fans understand the importance of that song. You know what I'm saying? SummerSlam 2001. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real hardcore fan. So you know what I'm saying? That was fire. What's another one? John one. Better hit the right one. Come on, that was crazy. But those are a few that I think of off rip. The John one was, and then the Rum Nitty, the crazy.
I forgot about that. The chorus, the cash and all that.
But those are my personal favorites. So what are yours? What's your 5?
I like the shit I did versus Lou Castro. When I said I'm a scam. Like I take his life physically, and it was like
and digitally.
And digitally. I think that one was dope. Let me see. I like the shit I did versus Louisi with the First he go in here bow in the background, then the sister screaming then the ambulance, and then the Goonie gonna hit that one. I think that one was crazy. Let me see. Did I do a prop verse ish? No, did I do the prop verse? I ain't gonna lie. Even though it wasn't too. I thought it was crazy when I battled Loso.
Oh,
and
which
God
wait,
came. I had to stop God from taking
that was
Loso
crazy.
early. I thought that was crazy.
You had 3 of them. You had the Kirk Franklin one. But I was in the building for it, and the audio was a little bit off. It was, and even on the, if you watch it on the app,
it was low.
It wasn't
what I
as
had
loud.
playing it for me, he didn't turn the volume up. That's when I was like relying on the speaker.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not doing no more speaker shit. We doing official sound shit. Like we getting to it. So every time I do something, I want niggas to like hear that shit. The light one was mine because you had. I think the light one was crazy.
You had that one, and you had you're gonna play telephone. That one was cool too. I thought the telephone thing, even though that's not really a prop, but like
the game, yeah. Yo,
the game.
I made that. Yo, I didn't have a third. I just made that shit up.
Okay, we're gonna get into the last segment. I'm gonna talk about some of your accomplishments, and we're gonna close out from there. All right, okay. Jerry Wess. Talk about a guy that has 2 known performances, 2 Smack Volume appearances, a part of the first ever Caffeine event in the Genesis event. One of the best prospects to come out of We Go Hard, had performance of the night on the Summer Madness 13 card that included 9 individuals that was a part of the BET's top 50 list. So you had the best performance out of like 9, 10, 11 other legends on that card.
I didn't even know that.
And then with less than 40 battles, your resume includes Chess, John, Shotgun Shook, B Magic, Chilla Jones, Danny Myers, Arsenal, Swamp, Loso, and DNA. Similar to when I interviewed Loso, right?
Ramen Geechee.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I didn't even get because again, like I was trying to look at also what you have a verse tracker and what you have on the app.
Right.
Some of those stuff, if some of those things made it to YouTube, then just imagine. You know what I'm saying?
We ain't even talk about the off URL joints. Like shout out to DG the Piranha, Jay Skills. Like the list goes on with that too. Theory. I had 2 battles that didn't even drop. Like versus Ghost in Cleveland, and then versus Vic Wallace from TBL. Like I had battles, man. I had battles.
Yeah, but my thing is like I mentioned with Loso, right? You guys are people that have been in the game for some time, but not as long as like the other veterans that are like revered as like legends and stuff like that. But you've already accomplished a lot, and I think what's more impressive, you accomplished a lot with like a very, very small sample size. Like you mentioned before, early in your career, you wasn't getting that many shots. You know what I'm saying? You battled a couple times a year. You had to wait for calls. And now you're at a point where you've been on Gnome a couple times. You've been on Smack Volume a couple times. You just had performance of the night on Summer Madness 13. What is next for Jerry Wess? What does Jerry Wess want to accomplish before he hangs it up in the rafters?
God willing, Free the Wave. That's one of the battles that I also wanted to have, because that's like, one of my favorites on my Rushmore, you know what I'm saying? Like that was always a joint that I want to do. Rock, Clips, you know what I'm saying? Verb. I'm also gonna start, putting some music back. I got music that's gonna be dropping as well too. But I feel like that's and I ain't gonna front, man. I want to see if I could be responsible to ending this war and and make the merger, man. URL versus RBE, man. I'm trying to see if I can make that happen, man. I gotta figure something out, man. I think that'll be epic. I feel like if we put RBE, King of the Dot, URL, we could do something in the Barclays, man. It could be us versus, like, I don't know, the industry rappers or something, man. It could be something major, man. It could be something major. Cassidy and them done started that little wave. We could have, Big Sean, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that'll be crazy.
Well, thank you guys for watching this interview. We had the privilege of just going through Jerry Wess's career, talking about his accomplishments, gaining insight on just where he is now and where he was before. Jerry, one last thing before I go, bro. 2 more battles, 2 more 3-round battles before the year closes out. This is one of your best years of your career, and I want you to make that top 20 list. I'm throwing that out there for you. 2 more battles, please, because you already have the platform. You need 2 more battles. For eligibility for Cody, you need 4 3-round battles. You need 2 more to close out the year. You got about a month, a little bit of a month and some change left. So if you can find a way to go on those small leagues, do a 3-round battle, then maybe get 1 more plate before the year is out, your case is there. So I'm throwing it out there.
I had Foots, Chaos.
Chaos
DNA.
was December.
It was?
Yes.
That was December. I thought that was January.
It released in January.
Oh, okay, you're right. Dang. Okay.
So you got DNA and you got Foots. You need 2 more.
Yeah, 2 on 2 more.
Yeah, no, you need 2 more. Try to figure it out, Jerry. I'm telling you.
Okay.
We need you to make that list, man.
Just to be on the list. Yeah.
Yeah. You need to make that list because I think that
I was supposed to be on the 10th, man, but I was banking on that one.
Oh man.
But like you said, maybe I just grab up 2 like you said, 2
small league joints. Because at the end of the day, you versus Foots, huge battle, one of the best battles. One of the best, like I would venture to say top 10, maybe 15 battle of the year. And then you and DNA. Those are 2 big looks.
Yeah.
You need to just get 2, bro. Get 2 more.
Does Don Marino count? No, that's not 3 rounds.
And it's a 1-rounder too.
That's 3 rounds, right?
2 3-round battles. Just get 2 more, and please, I'm begging you. But that's. I'm
gonna see if I can figure it out, man. See who's gonna break the bank for me. Let's see what's gonna happen, man.
Yeah.
Let's see what's gonna happen. But appreciate you, bro.
Hey, no problem. Thank you guys for watching. This has been a Speaker on Language show, and we'll see you guys soon. All right.